Okay, and another product review on an item from BangGood.com. This is what they call a solar battery bank. They originally packaged and designed this to work with Apple products, and that's why it's kind of got that Apple look to it with the white plastic, the white and black. And from a distance, it could resemble a smartphone, right? It's got a button here, and maybe that's a screen. Well, in reality, it's not. What this is, it's a small solar panel embedded here with kind of a hot glue sealer, although I doubt that it's submersible. We've got some openings for plugs and things happening here. We've got a dual USB output plus a in section, so you can recharge this because it's a kind of a sizable little battery inside there. Let's see, was it 5,000 amp hours or milliamps? 5,000 milliamps is not a punk little battery. I mean, that's got some power to it, probably equal to one of the smaller lithium-ion power tool batteries. And that's enough to keep a lot of your electronic devices and cell phones up. If you are, let's say, a flea market retailer, or you have people that deal with used cell phones, and sometimes you just don't have rechargers for all of them or don't want to have to carry them. Or if you're part of a preparedness group, and part of your preparedness is to make sure people can keep their communication devices charged up, this is kind of a smart item, because what it will do is it will charge most devices which are USB compatible. It also comes with a small pack of adapters for various relatively common cell phones, although I checked and it does not come with the newest of the Apple adapters. The newer Apple adapters have a little thing in them that kind of makes them where they have to sense an Apple charger, so you'd have to mess around with that to get it to go. It does come with the older style Apple charger, and of course Samsung, LG. I believe this is a Samsung phone, and what we should be able to do is turn this on, and there you can see I turn it on here. It comes over to here. This is an older phone, so what you'll see is that we've got an indicator showing that it's charging the battery. So I'll use these phones on some types of things where I need to remain relatively anonymous or maintain privacy in a conversation. And yeah, I don't want to have to carry a whole wall charging adapter for everything. With this solar power bank, it works with that. The other thing is, I'm finding that when you're using the small portable solar panels to recharge stuff, running everything through one of these little power banks instead of trying to get the USB solar panel to charge things directly seems to work better. It seems to make these things work a little bit better because it evens out that flow of power and makes it where the secondary devices are capable of charging off of that. I'll do a little bit of further testing, let's say, to determine whether or not the iPad mini, the newer equipment will charge off of these. Although I do not anticipate any problems with that, I will post the results of my test in the comment or do a second video. One of the things to be aware of when you get this little kit is there is no carry pouch. You'll have to kind of set up your communication road warrior kit with maybe another little bag that has little pockets to make sure that you have all of these adapters around. It comes with a single USB cord, and then on the ends of that are the adapters that work with these round things. So here we've got a relatively standard USB input cable that would work with, let's say, a lot of Motorola devices. Of course, this one would work with a lot of the older Apple devices. It will also work with a lot of the Asian SIM card taking Google phones. Here's another one that not quite sure which company this one works with. Kind of looks like maybe LG or something like that. This is another one. I think that's another LG type. And of course a few of the round barrel plug connectors which are used with a few different phones. And so, I can't say there's a 100% guarantee that their little kit is going to come with what you're going to need. But the good news is we've got regular USB connectors. There's out one and out two, and of course the in. So what happens is that this can act as, at least for power management services, purposes, although I don't think it will work as a USB hub. We can do a little bit of further testing on that. But let's say I were charging this from one of the portable solar panels and then charging two other items, that should work. The other thing, of course, because this has its own solar panel on there, it will keep it up off of 0, but realize that you've also got some size limitations due to that relatively small panel. You're probably talking about barely 1 watt coming out of that thing. And when we talk about the 5 watt solar panels or a folding solar panel, those are pretty much only good for charging small devices. So you need to have battery storage in any sort of a off-grid system, whether it's a micro solar generator, such as this thing's basically a very micro but self-contained solar generator, up to the larger systems. It helps to have a battery that will manage your power at each step along the way when you're dealing with highly voltage sensitive USB devices. I'm finding that the higher tech the USB device is, the more sensitive it is to voltage, and it's nice to have additional devices with redundancy on that voltage management. These, if I'm not mistaken, are less than $20 each, and when you talk about a spare cell phone battery being at least 10, and quite often the phone itself is worth less than that, it can help solve a lot of problems just to use an external battery. Let's say you're trying to recover phone book information or personal pictures or text from an older phone. This is a good way to keep that thing alive for a little bit longer without actually having to go ahead and refurbish the phone. As a off-grid device, it's a good pocket type device, or backpack, carry bag, comms bag type device. Not sure if I'd always want to carry this around in a pocket with my phone, but it depends on how far off the beaten track I'm going and how frequently I need to charge the phone and how power hungry the apps might be that I'm going to be using.